Okay, you want to write your literary essay, but you're not sure where to begin, or you missed a step during class. So I'm going to go through it with you quickly on this video. Feel free to pause it at any point and rewatch certain sections if you need to. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put it in standard MLA format by putting our name, teacher's name, class name, and due date. So once we've achieved that, we are going to give our paper a title. Remember that you are not summarizing, so your title should not be summary of or anything like that. It is the literary essay, a thematic analysis of, looking at the theme of. You can pick, but we want to stay away from summary except for a few sentences in our intro. When we write our introduction, we want to start by indenting the paragraph, and then we want to give our tag. So we'll start off right away by telling the readers who the author is, R.J. Palacio, what the genre is, and the title of the story. Notice that when I copied this over from my boxes and bullets, it's not double spaced, so I need to go to the line adjust and double space it. Next, I want to start to summarize a little bit, and this is the only spot where you will get to give a little bit of summary. I chose to just use a sentence. You could use 3 or 4, but just for my purposes, just a little bit of summary. I said Augie's physical difference make him stand out, but thanks to friends like Jack Will, Augie finds ways to fit in. Next, you're going to take that claim that you wrote so wonderfully on your boxes and bullets, and you're going to pull that into the last sentence of your introduction. It's important that it's the last sentence. It shouldn't be smack dab in the middle. Your intro is essentially a sandwich that starts with the tag sentence and ends with the claim. And in the middle, it has a little bit of summary. Next, I'm going to write my topic sentences, and these are going to have to match up directly with my claim. So as I look at my claim, I have, you never know what others are going through, which is the first main point. So I need to have something similar to that in my first topic sentence. So I started with one of, and since it isn't a main part of the plot, I said one of the side stories in the plot is that story of Jack Will, who teaches the lesson that we never truly understand other people's struggles. Notice I didn't say it word for word. I put it in my own language to kind of make it more interesting, because word choice is one of the things that you are graded on in your essay. For the second topic sentence, I have a second lesson that is learned through this story is that, you can never go wrong with being kind, and you can never act wrong if you act out of kindness. Notice how these are matching up. And the third needs to match up as well. So I have a second as my transition words. So my last transition word I'm going to use finally. Finally, a lasting lesson that Palacio shares with readers is that how you treat others is how you will be remembered. So those are our topic sentences. Once we get that, we're not going to move to the conclusion quite yet. We're going to go back into our boxes and bullets and start to pull our evidence. So I'm going to give a little bit of backstory about Jack Will's home life to introduce where this quote came from. So I have, Jack Will's home life isn't the best, and he struggles to put on a positive front when he comes to school each day. Regardless of his own challenges, Jack Will says, and then I have the quote. When I have a quote, I have to explain why it matters. So I'll say something like, this quote shows, this quote means, and I'm basically just taking this right from my boxes and bullets and piecing it together. I'm going to do the same thing with my second body paragraph. I'm going to pull a quote. And again, I didn't just put the quote. I said, when Augie's dad, and I gave a little backstory as to where that quote comes from. And then I'm going to explain why the quote matters. And to wrap this up, I'm also going to tie this back into another text. So I have, this quote is one that can be applied to many situations. And then, for example, and I'm going to tie it back into the bullet.